and Customs enforcement to have been deported before he could have committed this heinous act.
So if you say, number one, were you surprised that when they came in, I know you're law enforcement and you're not necessarily in the legal aspect of this, but when they decided to not enter into the fact of his immigration status, I knew there could be something horrible about this decision. Do you get the same feeling?
Certainly, you have to question it. You have to wonder exactly what the jurors heard, and unless you were there for every moment of the testimony, you're not going to know exactly what they heard to base their decision on. But just with the facts that we know, the facts that have been shared from the media, how egregious is this, that this loss of life, which was so preventable, was allowed to happen, and no one's going to be held responsible for it.
So let's talk about your county. Why wouldn't this happen in your county?
Well, we entered into, last year, we entered into a program, began the process in 2015. It's about a year vetting process to get in with Immigration and Customs Enforcement on the corrections side of the house. Through our corrections, we screen every single individual who's arrested in Harford County as they come into the detention center. And part of that screening process is to see what their legal status is in the United States. And through that, we partnered with ICE. We have deputies trained, deputized as federal agents, and they are able to do the screening process. We have ICE agents in our facility, and we're able to identify those who are here illegally and committing acts of criminal acts against our citizens. And then ICE determines whether they're going to be detained for removal procedures.
So that means that if I'm here illegally and I haven't broken a law in Maryland, in Harford County, you're not coming up to me saying, show me your social security card. You're not saying, show me your passport. You only need to get to the corrections part of this, which means you've been accused of breaking the law, correct?
Absolutely. I have both law enforcement and corrections as sheriff in Harford County. This is not a law enforcement program. It's strictly corrections-based. So it doesn't matter, and it doesn't matter whether the sheriff's office arrests you or one of our local municipal partners or the state police, whoever's bringing you into that facility, and it doesn't matter who you are. 5,500 prisoners roughly last year were brought into the detention center, and we screened every single one of them. Man, woman, black, white, demographics aside, every single person is screened in this process.
And Sheriff, you say, and that answers the argument, people say this program will breed mistrust with police. Not really, unless you break the law.
Absolutely. And again, ICE has their job to do, and they've had some challenging years. And they need to do their job. We need to do a better job as a country securing our borders, in my opinion. But with that said, this is a great partnership, and we're not out there looking for people who are simply here trying to make a better life for themselves. We're looking for those that are here to victimize our community further. They're already in the country illegally, committing one act against the citizens, but to take that further and to commit other criminal acts that bring you into the detention center. There's no reason as sheriff I want to open the door and let them back into Harford County to reoffend and further victimize our citizens.
It's unbelievable how much you have to explain to people why you're enforcing the law. It's exasperating. I don't care if I'm in Maryland, San Francisco, or Dallas, Texas. You all have the same exasperation in law enforcement, and it's sad. Sheriff Jeffrey Gahler, thanks so much.
Thank you for having me, Brian.
All right. Meanwhile.